Hey trainers, Alakaham here with some more Pokemon video magic. I hope that everyone has been enjoying their holiday, and I decided that I would go ahead and share what I think is a fun video on XL Blastoise here on the last day of Ultra League for at least this first wave of Ultra League for this season 10 of the Pokemon Go Battle League. So Blastoise was my favorite of the original starters. I really like water types, which is one of the reasons, of course, why I'm so big on putting the Team Mystic logo and everything. So building a big boy Blastoise has been a long time goal for me. And with some of the events that have been going on in the game recently, I have finally been able to grab the XL candy I need to build a playable XL Blastoise. It can still be powered up a little bit more, but as you can see, we are going to be doing a-okay with it exactly as it is now. So we're going to go ahead and dive right into this commentary. We picked up a terrible lead against an Obstagoon, so I went ahead and came in with the Gyarados, and they switched out to their Scissor. Scissor is not a particularly good response to Gyarados, so I'm optimistic that we'll be able to take Switch here, especially because we got the defense drop with Crunch. So just to ensure that I maintain advantage, I'm going to go ahead and throw this Aqua Tail. And it really doesn't matter if the Obstagoon beats Gyarados. All I really needed to do was flip Switch so that I can keep the Trevenant away from the Obstagoon. So we're going to go ahead and let the Gyarados go, and then we are coming in with Big Boy himself. And I am very proud to have got a Squirtle Squad Squirtle with the sunglasses to evolve into my XL Blastoise. So the opponent does very good counting there. I would not know how to count how many water guns to a hydro cannon, but apparently that opponent did, and so kudos to them, and they made a really nice catch onto a Dragonite. So I hopped in here with Trevenant, and I'm throwing Seed Bombs because really all I want to do is chip this Dragonite down far enough that I could hypothetically take it out with water guns with the Blastoise. They failed to take me out, and so I'm going to go ahead and throw the next Seed Bomb, and what do you know? Trevenant comes out on top there. Those Shadow Claws really add up. So it's going to be down to the Blastoise to finish this game off. No way I am getting to 3 Hydro Cannons, so our win con here is to be able to farm down with Water Gun. Water Gun is a pretty decent move. It adds up over time, for sure. The attack looks weak on paper, but then it hits so hard and so fast. Are we able to? It's so close. Yeah, we are just barely able to Water Gun down that Obstagoon, so they go down with 2 shields. We get the reverse 2 shield flex there. And Big Boy Blastoise in the sunglasses pulls off game 1 for us here. So we are going to be running this same team in the same order throughout the whole video, and I'm just going to show you one complete set that I played. We are going to be leading with Trevenant again, this time into Giratina, and this is a pretty decent lead. They do have Dragon Breath instead of Shadow Claw. Dragon Breath is a very strong move, but Shadow Claw would be super effective, so this actually works out fairly well for me. And they let the Shadow Ball through. They thought that I was going to bait with Seed Bomb, but I went straight for that Shadow Ball, so we are able to take it out, and they make a quick swap into their Kanto Muck. This is pretty good for Trevenant again, because whereas Alolan Muck would be a problem with its part dark typing, Kanto Muck is just a poison type, quote unquote. So Kanto Muck is going to be taking neutral damage from things like Shadow Ball. So we are going to swap out into our very tanky boy here, And I do have to worry about Thunder Punch. Probably going to shield this up. Yeah. So we could have tanked one Thunder Punch with full health there. XL Blastoise is very, very beefy. I think... Okay, I'm not going to double shield. I'm going to let it go, apparently. Yep. All right, so we can come back in with Trevenant. Yeah, we could have tanked a Thunder Punch with full health, but I did not want to take a Thunder Punch after Acid Spray. And now I can see they were working very hard to try and flip that match so that they could try to get rid of the Trevenant. The Swampert wants nothing to do with Trevenant, but actually this is fine because the only move that Swampert has that can do at least neutral damage to our Gyarados is going to be Sludge Wave if they have it. But we have shield advantage and pretty much everything else from this Swampert is resisted, so we are looking pretty good. And they decide to go ahead and do the top left thing, which is fine. So that worked out for us as well. Blastoise putting in a lot of work in the middle. Kanto Muck is no lightweight itself. It does take some time to whittle down its HP, so I'm glad that we had Blastoise to do all of that neutral damage with the water guns to help us whittle down that Muck. So we pick up a very bad lead, very, very bad lead against the Umbreon, and I'm going to go ahead and safe swap into the Gyarados. They waited until we built up to a crunch before they swapped, and then they swapped in a Deoxys. So I'm very confused because crunch would have been resisted by the Umbreon, but super effective against the Deoxys, so it beats me. I don't know. Either way, this is the situation that we're in. I do have to look out for both Thunderbolt and Rock Slide, even though the fast move counter is resisted. But Gyarados charges pretty fast. Dragon Breath generates energy very quickly, and we are able to take switch there. They come back in with the Umbreon, and they have so much energy built up because they stayed in for a while before they swapped out to their Deoxys. So that's fine, I guess. Looks like maybe they are just trying to protect something else in back from having to go up against the other things that we had up front. So this has been an unusual game, but that's fine. So we come in with the Blastoise this time because, again, Trevenant wants nothing to do with that Umbreon, and our Blastoise here is going to be putting in a lot of work against that Umbreon. Because it is XL, it is very beefy. Even though it's not even all the way powered up, it's going to be able to tank a lot of damage from the Umbreon. So really all we need to do is work on getting shields here if we can. One Seed Bomb should be enough to take out the Swampert, and they decide to save the shield for the Umbreon, which I think makes a lot of sense. That's a nice play from the opponent there because they realize that the Umbreon is their only win con here. I'm going to go ahead and start chipping away with Seed Bombs, and we get some lag there. You love to see it. And of course, I'm going to let the Trevenant go because Trevenant has a very bad matchup against this Umbreon. So I'm going to come in with Blastoise, who is already stacked on energy, and I'm going to try to get the last shield here. And of course, they have to shield if they want to get through the game. So we take shield advantage. We still have plenty of health on our XL Blastoise, and we have almost another Hydro Cannon built up. So they decide to go ahead and stop the game there. Good game to my opponent. They were making really great choices in terms of player management as we got toward the end of that game, so that was fun to play through. Okay, moving into the next match, we move into an okay matchup. I don't have anything that's just like really great against Sylveon on this team. Pretty much everything has the opportunity to do some neutral damage, but Gyarados really doesn't want to see it so much because Gyarados' Dragon Breaths are going to be resisted. So I'm going to go ahead and expend a shield here because they've already expended a shield. I'm going to build all the way up to the Shadow Ball and then go ahead and go for another Seed Bomb here We do get the next shield. Can I make it to another Seed Bomb? Not quite. But we do have shield advantage. I don't want to come in with the Gyarados because, again, those Dragon Breaths are resisted, so I'm going to just bring in our bulkiest boy here, and we are going to work on farming down with Water Guns to come out of this with loaded energy. Blastoise does hit very, very hard with those Hydro Cannons. So, okay, this works out all right. We have an Umbreon, and as you saw in the last video, Blastoise can definitely hold its own against the Umbreon. So we are going to go ahead and go for these back-to-back Hydro Cannons with Stab, and those are going to be doing about 50% of the Umbreon's health. I'm hopeful that we can get to one more Hydro Cannon before the Blastoise goes down, and then we should be able to Dragon Breath down with Gyarados, and unless they have like a rock type or an electric type in the back, we should be doing pretty well. I would be a little surprised if they had an electric type in the back. And I can't even see what it is. Oh, it's a Swampert. Yeah, the screen on my phone where I'm recording this is kind of tiny, so the Dragon Breaths from Gyarados like completely overwhelmed the Swampert on my screen for a second. Okay, so this is fine. We're going to build all the way up to the crunch and then go ahead and go for an Aqua Tail here. This is a Shadow Swampert, so it will be hitting a little bit harder. Those Hydro Cannons are really going to do more damage than I would like. So that's part of the reason why I wanted to go ahead and go for Aqua Tail. I knew that if it didn't seem like I could farm down, I could go ahead and get to another one sooner, and it gets stabbed. So we're just going to hope that we can farm down with Dragon Breath, and we are able to go ahead and snag that win with Gyarados at the end there. So as you can see, I have enjoyed using Blastoise as a counter to Umbreon. Whether you win or lose the matchup, Blastoise can hold its own just because it can tank a lot of damage, which is definitely what you need going up against Umbreon, because Umbreon itself is so tanky and it spams out so much damage so fast. All right, we've got another Sylveon, so we are going to more or less play this out the same way. Gonna start going for these Seed Bombs to see if we can get shields. If we do, great. If not, then we will still be able to chunk quite a bit of damage from the Sylveon. Okay, so building all the way up to the Shadow Ball and then throwing the Seed Bomb again. This time they let it through, so that's a little bit worse for me because we don't have the shield advantage. But I'm going to come in here with Blastoise. We do have the shield advantage here, so I'm going to go ahead and farm down with these Water Guns after shielding once to just preserve a little bit of health. And now we have lots of energy for whatever comes in next. And it is a Gyarados. So that's fine. We can do some nice neutral damage with Ice Beam here that chunked quite a bit of health, and now we are going to swap into our own Gyarados, and they make an aggressive swap into Giratina altered form. I think that may have been a blind swap. They were probably in a better situation with the mirror match Gyarados on Gyarados than the circumstances they're in now, because the best that Giratina can do is neutral damage for me, but I can hit for super effective with both fast moves and charge moves. So I'm pretty happy with the swap there, but unfortunately they get to a Dragon Claw before we get to that next crunch. I'm hoping this doesn't KO, but it does, so that is garbage. Really, really bad. And now because we over-farmed, I was thinking I might have to get to an Ice Beam here. Now we've taken a lot of damage from Dragon Claw. So this is looking a little bit worse. They are going to bring back the Gyarados, and they have a move stored, so unfortunately I am not able to salvage this particular match. Perhaps against the Giratina altered, I could have gone ahead and thrown Aqua Tail, and that way I could have chipped some damage off of that Giratina and made it a little bit easier for Blastoise to perhaps farm down before having to tank a Dragon Claw. In any case, I have loved building XL Blastoise. I'm actually spending a lot of time and energy trying to build some XL Pokemon for the Ultra League, which is something that I haven't really done in the past. I just recently started that process this past summer, so it's been kind of fun. We are about to move into the Master League in the current season of Go Battle League, so I'll have some videos on that for you soon. Meanwhile, I hope you've enjoyed seeing XL Blastoise, and I will talk to you next time, trainers.